I'm sure you're all very happy because your exams have been cancelled and you were under pressure to write the accountancy exam after a very long break. And now I think the tension is off your mind. So we are back into our Google Classroom. Let us study economics. You need not worry about your accounts exam and other things. Now we are all into standard 12. So we have to concentrate on our subjects. Already we have started with this chapter, Introduction to Macroeconomics. So in this chapter, we have seen various concepts. We saw about the microeconomics, macroeconomics. Then Ragnar Frisch, he was the one who coined the words micro and macro in the year 1933. A recap of all that we have seen so far. We saw the meaning of macroeconomics. Macroeconomics deals with aggregates. Macroeconomics deals with aggregates such as national income, employment, and output. Let me take my laser pointer. Macroeconomics is also called as income theory. Then we saw the importance of macroeconomics. Then we dealt with the scope of macroeconomics. Then we also saw the limitations to macroeconomics. Then the most important thing we saw about the various economic systems. So what is an economic system? A system by which people earn their living is called as an economy. So an economy is a system by which people earn their living. This was given by A.J. Brown. And we saw the various activities in an economy. Fundamental economic activities, non-economic activities, and external activities. Then we saw the various types of economic systems. The capitalistic economy, the socialistic economy, and the mixed economy. Under each head, under the capitalistic, socialistic, and mixed economy, we saw the limits, the features, and the demerits. We started with capitalism, and here you have a picture of the father of capitalism, Adam Smith. Capitalism is seen in USA, West Germany, and Japan. Then we saw the features of capitalism, merits of capitalism. Then we also saw the demerits of capitalism. So under capitalism, we had the features, the merits, and demerits. Next, we went on to socialism. So who's the father of socialism? Karl Marx. Karl Marx is the father of socialism. So socialism is also called as command economy. Socialism is seen in Russia, China, Cuba, and Poland. Under socialism, we saw the features of socialism, the merits of socialism, then the demerits of socialism. Next, we went on to mixedism. Mixedism is seen in India. Our country follows the mixed economic system. So mixed economic system is an economic system where you have the private and the public sector. Then under this, we saw the features of mixed economy. We saw the merits of mixed economy. Then we saw the demerits of mixed economy. Then lastly, we saw the comparisons of different economic systems. I already said this is very, very important. You have a 5-mark question in this comparison of the various economic systems. So you have the capitalism, socialism, and mixed economy. So let us go on to the concepts of macroeconomics. Concepts of macroeconomics. Today we will be dealing about the concepts and the various economic sectors or the circular flow of income. You have this on page number 10. Turn on to page number 10. So the important concepts used in macroeconomics are, or the variables which are macroeconomic variables which are used in economics are stock and flow. So first you must know what is a stock and what is a flow. Stock. From the name itself, you can understand that it is a quantity at a particular point of time. So suppose if your mother asks, how much rice is left for this month? Or if your mother asks you to go and check in the kitchen, how much rice do we have? Go and check that and come. So that is called as a stock, a quantity of a commodity that is constant at a point of time. So when you go and check for that rice in the gunny bag, it will be a specific number. It will be constant, 5 kg, 10 kg, like that. So at a particular point of time, stock is calculated at a particular point of time. A quantity of a commodity that is constant at a point of time. Constant, or you can also call it as static, is called as a stock. Examples for stock are money supply, the amount of money supply in the country, or the amount of capital with an entrepreneur. All these are examples for stock. So what is a flow? Flow is calculated over a period of time. Flow is a variable measured over a period of time. It keeps changing. Water flows. The amount of water keeps on changing. So this moment is called as dynamic. Here this is termed as static, whereas flow is termed as dynamic. So examples can be consumption and production. The amount of consumption and production over a period of time is called as flow. So first, we saw the concepts in macroeconomics. What are the economic variables? There are two economic variables given here. One is stock and the other one is flow. So with this, let us go on to circular flow of income. Circular flow of income. Before going to circular flow of income, you must know what is an economic model. Have you seen models in your lower classes? Your teachers would have shown a model of a globe or a model of a human heart. Okay, so what is a model? A model is a simplified representation of a real situation. That is only called as a model. We cannot see a heart directly in the classroom. So your teacher, when your science teacher brings a model of a heart or a model of a globe, so you are able to visualize how the world looks. So a model is a simplified representation of a real situation. A model is an explanation of how the economy or a part of an economy works. In economics also, we have models. Those are called as economic models. So the models which are used in economics are called as economic models. You have various models. You have science models. In history, geography, you have models. In economics also, we have models. So what is an economic model? A model is an explanation of how the economy or a part of the economy works. Most economic models are built with mathematics, graphs, and equations. So in economic models, we make use of mathematics, graphs, equations, and we also have economic variables. So first you must know what is an economic model. So with this, let us go on to circular flow of income. Circular flow of income. The circular flow of income is a model. So in economics, we use a model called as circular flow of income. First, I told you what is a model. A model is a simplified representation of real situation. Then we saw what is an economic model. So under economic model, we are going to see circular flow of income. The circular flow of income is a model of an economy showing connections between different sectors of an economy. So what are the sectors? We have different sectors. We have the household, we have the firms, we have the government, and we have the export and the import. That is called as the fourth sector. So now we are going to see the connections between different sectors of an economy. In our textbook, we have three types of models. Two sector model. In the two sector model, we will see the household and the firms. Household, houses, and the firms. In the 3-sector model, we will see household, firms, and the government. Under the 4-sector model, we will see household, firms, government, and the external sector. Here, external sector means the foreign trade. We have the export and the import. So, shall we see what is the circular flow of income in a 2-sector model? The circular flow of income in a 2-sector economy can be given with an equation y is equal to c plus I. Y is equal to c plus I. Here there are only 2 sectors. The first sector is called as the consumption sector and the second one is called as the investment sector. So consumption is carried out in the household and investment is carried out in the firm. So in the 2-sector economy, we have the household and the firms. And the simple equation for a 2-sector economy is y is equal to c plus I, where y is the income, c stands for consumption, and I stands for investment. Are you able to follow this? Circular flow of income in a 2-sector economy. Y is equal to C plus I. Y is the income, C is consumption, and I is investment. So can you see the diagram here, the picture here? You have the household and the firms. You have an outward circle. This is called as the outer circle. The dark black line or the arrows, this outer circle, and the red one is called as the inner circle. You have the outer circle as well as the inner circle. Here we have 2 sectors. One is the household and the other one is the firm. So household sector. The household sector is the sole buyer of goods and services. What does the household do? They consume goods. They consume services. So the household sector is the sole. They buy the goods and services, and they are the sole supply of the factors of production. So you have to understand one thing here. The household, they buy the goods and services. The household, they buy the goods and services from the firms. The household buy goods and services from the firms. And they supply the factors of production to the firm. So this is the outer circle. Outer circle. First, the household, what do? They give the factors of production. The household, they give the factors of production. Are you able to follow? The household, they supply the factors of production to the firms. What are the factors of production? Land, labor, and capital. So these factors of production are given by the household to the firms. And for this, and for giving the factors of production, the firms in return give factor incomes to the household. For land, they give rent. For labor, they give wages. And for the capital, they give dividends. Are you able to understand? The household, I repeat again, the household, they give factors of production to the firms. In return, the factors of production earn factor incomes. The firms give factor incomes such as wages, rent, and dividends to the household. With this money, what do? The household, they go to the firm and they buy goods and services. Okay. So the firms supply goods and services to the household, and in return, the household gives money to the firm. These are called as consumer expenditure. திருப்பி ஒரு வாட்டி சொல்லவா? ஹவுஸ்ஹோல்ட் என்ன பண்றாங்க? ஹவுஸ்ஹோல்ட் வந்து ஃபேக்டர்ஸ் ஆஃப் ப்ரொடக்ஷன் கொடுக்குறாங்க. யாருக்கு கொடுக்குறாங்க? ஃபர்ம்ஸ்க்கு கொடுக்குறாங்க. Household supply factors of production to the firm. What types of factors of production? Land, labor, and capital. Firms அதை வாங்கிக்கிட்டு இதுக்கு பதிலா அந்த பொருள் எல்லாம் வாங்கினோடனே அவங்க திருப்பியும் காசா யாருக்கு கொடுக்குறாங்க? ஹவுஸ் ஹோல்டுக்கு கொடுக்குறாங்க. எப்படி கொடுக்குறாங்க? வேலை செய்யற லேபரர்ஸ்க்கு they give wages, for the land they give rent, for the capital they give dividends. So இப்ப ஹவுஸ் ஹோல்ட் கொடுத்த பொருளுக்கு அவங்களுக்கு காசு வந்துச்சு. இப்ப இந்த காசை வச்சுட்டு இவங்க என்ன பண்றாங்க? இப்ப ஹவுஸ் ஹோல்டு கிட்ட காசு இருக்கு. they need goods and services. They need goods and services. They need TV, they need rice, they need a scooter, they need books. So they go to the firm and the firm gives them goods and services. firm வந்து இப்போ goods and services யாருக்கு கொடுக்குறாங்க? ஹவுஸ் ஹோல்டுக்கு கொடுக்குறாங்க. கடையில போய் சும்மா வாங்கிட்டு வந்துட முடியுமா பொருள் எல்லாம்? வாங்கின பொருளுக்கு நம்ம என்ன கொடுக்கணும்? காசு கொடுக்கணும். So that is only called as consumer expenditure. We go to a shop, we buy a laptop, and in return we give them money. We go to the shop, we buy dresses, and in turn we give them money. Okay, so this is only called as circular flow of income. So the money which the household earned from the firms are given back to the firms. Whatever money the firms earn is given back to the household. So that's why it is called a circular flow of income. So this economy is called as a two-sector economy. Is it clear, girls? So this is called as two-sector economy. You might get that in 3 marks question or in 4 marks questions also. Explain with a diagram the two-sector circular flow of income in an economy. Next. This is circular flow of income in a three-sector economy. So in a three-sector economy, what do we have? The equation is Y is equal to C plus I plus G. Now you have to say, what is C? Good. Consumption. I. Investment. And what is G? This is new. This is new. This is called as the government. This is called as the government. So here the equation is Y is equal to C plus I plus G. Y is national income, C is consumption expenditure, I is investment expenditure, and G is government expenditure. So go through the diagram. The domestic circular flow of income and spending, or this is called as a three-sector economy. Here you have the household, the government, and the firms. In the previous diagram, we had only the household and the firms. Y is equal to C plus I. But here we have a new component which is called as the government expenditure. So the diagram is different here. We have the household, we have the government, and we have the firm. You would have understood this in the two-sector economy itself. The household, they supply factors of production to the firm, and in turn they get wages, dividend, interest, profit, and rent. Afterwards, what do the household do? They purchase goods and services from the firms and they pay money to the firms. So this outer circle you would have understood in the two-sector economy. The three-sector economy, you have to understand this part. Here you have the government. What does the government do? The government collects taxes from the household. So the government also gets income. How do they get the income? They collect taxes from the household and they also collect taxes from the firms. Are you able to understand? The household pay taxes to the government and the firms also pay taxes to the government. What does the government do? The government purchases, government officers or the government institution also needs goods and services. So the government purchases goods and services from the firms and in turn the government will also pay money to the firms. Okay, whatever they buy, whatever the government buys from the firm, they have to pay for it. ஓசியா போய் எதையும் போய் வாங்கிட்டு வந்துட முடியாது ஃபர்ம்ல. கவர்மெண்ட்டுக்கு வேண்டிய அது பில்டிங்கா இருக்கட்டும், அது டேபிள் சேரு, லேப்டாப்பு, ஃபர்னிச்சர்ஸ் எதுவா இருந்தாலும் கவர்மெண்ட் யார்கிட்ட தான் போய் வாங்கணும்? ஃபர்ம்ஸ் கிட்ட வாங்கிட்டு அதுக்கு பதில் அவங்க காசு கொடுக்கணும். அதே மாதிரி கவர்மெண்ட் என்ன பண்ணுது? தே மேக் சம் சோஷியல் டிரான்ஸ்ஃபர் டு த ஹவுஸ் ஹோல்ட். ஸோ வாட் ஆர் த சோஷியல் டிரான்ஸ்ஃபர்ஸ்? பென்ஷனா இருக்கலாம், ரிலீஃபா இருக்கலாம், சப்சிடியா இருக்கலாம். தீஸ் ஆர் ஒன்லி கால்ட் அஸ் சோஷியல் டிரான்ஸ்ஃபர்ஸ். So did you understand? The government purchases goods and services from the firms and they pay for it. And here the government என்ன பண்றாங்க, household வந்து டாக்ஸ மட்டும் வாங்காம கவர்மெண்ட் என்ன பண்ணுது, ஹவுஸ் ஹோல்டுக்கும் சில காரியத்தை கொடுக்குறாங்க. ஓல்டு பீப்புள் இருந்தா அவங்களுக்கு பென்ஷன் கொடுப்பாங்க. ஒருவேளை இந்த மாதிரி கோவிட் கிரைசிஸ் டைம்ல என்ன பண்ணாங்க, ரிலீஃப் கொடுத்தாங்க. 1000 ரூபாய் வந்து வாங்கிக்கோங்க, உங்களுக்கு பொருள் தரேன், ஃபார்மர்ஸ்க்கு சப்சிடி கொடுக்குறேன், இண்டஸ்ட்ரீஸ்க்கு எல்லாம் இந்த மாசம் வந்து டாக்ஸ் கட்ட தேவையில்லை, நீங்க வந்து இபி சார்ஜஸ் வந்து உங்களுக்கு அடுத்த மாசம் கூட கட்டலாம், உங்களுக்கு பிஎஃப்ல நான் இவ்வளவு கான்ட்ரிபியூஷன் பண்றேன். தீஸ் ஆர் ஓன்லி கால்ட் அஸ் சோஷியல் டிரான்ஸ்ஃபர்ஸ். Hope you are able to understand. So in the three sector economy, we have the household, the government, and the firms. If you have three sectors, then it is called as a three sector economy. The equation for this is y is equal to c plus I plus g. Next, we have the four sector economy. So see the equation, is it the same equation as the two sector and the three sector? No, you have additional one more component here, x minus m. What is x? X is called as export. What is m? M is import. Why do we have export here and import at the back? Always it is better for a country to do more export and less of import. That is only called as favorable trade. When is a trade called to be favorable? When the export is greater than the import, then it is called as favorable. That's why we have x in front and m at the back. So this is only called as foreign trade. We have the export as well as the import. So y is equal to c plus I plus g plus x minus m. You know what is y? Y is income. What is c? Consumption expenditure. I, investment expenditure. G, government expenditure. What is this? Foreign trade. X minus m. So x minus m is called as the net export. What do you mean by net export? Exports are greater than the imports. Look at this diagram. There's a slight change in the diagram. Just like the three sector economy, you have to draw the diagram. Apart from that, here you have this extra import and the export. So this is with the rest of the world. This economy is called as an open economy. What do you mean by open economy? If a country is open to import and export, then it is called as an open economy. What is meant by closed economy? If economy is closed, if there is no import and if there is no export, such an economy is called as a closed economy. But nowadays, each country is dependent on the other country. India is dependent on Middle East countries for petroleum products. Likewise, many other countries are dependent on India for rice, gold, and the mineral resources. So all the countries, mostly many of the countries are open economy. We have the export and the import. So likewise, here you have the household, the government, and the firms. This part is called as the two-sector economy. The household, they purchase goods and services from the firms, and in return, they give the money. The household purchases goods and services and they pay money to the firms. Likewise, the firms, what do? They get the factors of production from the household, and in return, they give wages, dividend, interest, profit, and rent to the household. Then you have the government. The government collects taxes from the household as well as the firms. How does the government give what they take? They give it in the form of government purchases. The government purchases goods and services from the firms and they pay to the firms. Likewise, the government also makes some social transfer in the form of pension, reliefs, and subsidy to the household. Next, you have this part. This is called as x minus m. So this country, what do? They export items and at the same time they import items into a country. So this is called as a four sector economy. So this part is called as the external this part is called as the external trade sector of the economy. And this part is called as the domestic circular flow of income. The domestic circular flow of income is made up of household, governments, and firms. So hope you were able to understand the circular flow of income. So what did we see today? We saw the concepts of macroeconomics. We saw the economic variables, stock and flow. Then we saw what is a circular flow of income. Then circular flow of income is an economic model. So what is an economic model? I explained what is an economic model. Then we saw the various sectors seen in an economy, the two-sector model, the three-sector model, and the four-sector model. So circular flow of income in a two-sector economy, Y is equal to C plus I. In the three-sector economy, we have Y is equal to C plus I plus G. And in the three-sector economy, we have Y is equal to C plus I plus G plus X minus M. So we have seen the complete chapter, the first chapter, Introduction to Macroeconomics. So under this, we saw the various economic systems, the merits, the demerits, the features. Okay, we saw the economic system, capitalistic economy, socialistic economy, and the mixed economy. Before that, we saw the economic activities. Then we saw the definition for an economy. We saw what is the scope of macroeconomics, the importance of macroeconomics, and the meaning of macroeconomics. So with this, your first chapter is completed, Introduction to Macroeconomics. Were you able to understand? So under this, in the first chapter, we have one-word questions. Okay, 21-word questions we have. The answer is also there in your textbook. Apart from that, we have part B. Part B is answer the following questions in one or two sentences. We have 7 questions under that. Then we have part C. 7 questions under part C. That will be your 3 marks questions. Then under essay type questions, 5 mark questions, we have 4 questions. Girls, I've already sent the material, the complete material. In the first Google Classroom itself, I posted, okay? I posted the material. I've given you some assignments, work to be done. I want to make one thing very clear here, okay? Please don't be asking the same questions over and over again. As usual, like how we had in the 11th standard, we had an economics rough notebook and we also had an economics classwork, okay? 2 notebooks. Rough notebook is for the homework which I give. I give 4 2 marks questions or 3 2 marks questions, okay, whatever it may be. The home work to be done will be done in your rough notebook, okay, with the date. You write the date and you do the homework. That will be separate, rough notebook. Then we have a classwork. Classwork, if you can, if you have any new notebooks, long size notebook, you can take that and you can put the date and start writing your classwork. Usually in the classroom, classwork, we write the 2 marks and 3 marks. Likewise, even this year, you can just put the date, double margin, put the date, write the question 21, define macroeconomics. That will be written in with a black pen, okay, black ink, okay, define macroeconomics. Then give the definition with a blue ink pen. Then draw a line, go to the 22nd question, write the question with a black pen. Then answer with a blue. Likewise, you will finish the 2 marks in your classwork. Then you will finish the 3 marks. One word, what you can do is you can take the assignment, leftover assignment papers. Okay, in the 11th standard, I think they would have given you 2 bundles, assignment paper bundles. You can take those papers and you can write the one word. You can put the date, chapter 1, Introduction to Macroeconomics, then write the 20 questions. Don't write it as multiple choice questions, write it as fill in the blanks. You write the questions and then write the answer. Write the question, write the answer. Write the question, write the answer. So this will be done in a separate paper.